You are watching
Book
Xirtus.
review: The Strange History of Binding Books in Human Skin. Well, we all saw Hocus Pocus. So, did you see it dubbed in German? Did you ever see Hocus
I don't
Pocus?
even know that movie now.
Man, really? Bette Midler or something? Is that right? You never saw this one,
No, but has the same hairstyle as the Mad Hatter in the new Alice movies.
dude? The entire movie, she's like book, and she's like calling for her book, and she's got is that
Or
where's
this
like
other, not the Mad Hatter, but this. She looks like this Queen of Hearts in
if
those
you
new
want to make a
movies.
kid happy, you get him one of these Trapper Keepers that look like the Hocus Pocus book, made out of human skin. No, not really, but it's supposed to be. The book is supposed to be made out of human skin. That's the Hocus Pocus book. But yeah, why did you bring up human flesh books? Oh man, I lost it. I lost the link. I gotta go back and find it now.
So I just found it very strange and interesting why someone would do that, and I hadn't known that this was a thing. Anybody would do that. Yeah. And now
Well,
they're
you'd use
fighting over
leather.
whether or not the skin should get a burial or not,
Wait,
so
really? No, no. Are you kidding me? They want. Ah, that's horrible. Oh wait, is it? Is there? Maybe there's some context here. Like,
but
was
then
this
also
person
the idea,
skinned for against their will?
if it is true that in the what we would now call Middle Ages or whatever year exactly, many people died,
Mm-hmm.
well then I don't know. I mean, either you would do it out of resource reasons if you don't have anything else to bind your book with, or what I was thinking of, in a very evil way, you would use it as a, how should I say, as a matter of showing whom you conquered. Oh, I don't know how to say this in a nice way, yeah. But yeah, that was the
That's the
other
nice
idea I
way.
thought.
You didn't have a nice way. The nice way was like, I wrote this book, and when I die, I want it bound. I want to be bound in it so that it. Because what's this book about? Is this about the Bible or something? Or is this book?
No, I think also the content are also really strange. One second.
Yeah, what's in here? It doesn't say like the human skin log
Yeah, it
portfolio.
says Destinies of the Soul. That's
All
the other
right.
thing, because it's actually about the human soul, and that's also the reason why they bound it in human flesh, because they said only that is appropriate for such a topic or something along those lines. Yeah.
Oh, that sounds like some 09A stuff. That's quite topical. I mean, but I don't know. I mean, all right. If the person wanted it, am I too Californian? Is that too Californian to say? If the person's dad, you're laughing.
It's very
Oh.
Californian, yeah.
All right, fair enough.
But the modern one, not the Reagan one.
No, but like if he wanted to, if you were a monk and when you're gonna die, what are you gonna do? I don't know. It's pretty horrible though. Yeah, I guess if you didn't want it, I agree. Like if you didn't want to be a book, but maybe you did. It's just weird to do. I agree because there's cows.
I'm not giving any judgment or anything. I'm just saying it's very strange that someone would do that. And the content seemed to be interesting as well, but I didn't check it out in detail in this case. But this is just on the,
Well, dude, if
con
someone's put their life and blood into the work of the book, you probably should read it. I guess. I mean, never judge a book by its cover is the other
or
line.
is this how they say as an author, then I put my whole lifeblood in it, and not only my blood, but
I mean,
this is
that's
getting very macabre, I'm sorry.
but yeah, but like, I mean, if you were Kierkegaard or you were, Van Gogh, like I could see a number of artists when they die saying like, my last will and testament, I want to be bound into a book, right? What if you wanted to be bound into a book, into a Bible, or into your last? I could see that. I could see that happening. I could see somebody wanting that as like, this is what I'm trying to say is this is not as weird to me as wanting to be in an urn made up of ashes. I think ashes is weirder than wanting to be a book cover. Do you disagree? I don't know.
Not necessarily. I just think the whole idea of continued attachment to one's own material remains after one's soul has departed.
Well, no, it's
Not
more like
exactly my type,
capitalism.
but
It feels like capitalism
oh,
because
or maybe I can sell it beforehand. Oh my God.
no, 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 that's not what I mean. I don't mean like that kind of cap. I mean like my definition of capitalism, like Native Americans making a jacket out of buffalo. Like so, what you're doing is like after you die, there's first off, you've taught a bunch of people a bunch of things. You've done as much good as you can in your life, right? Then when you die, you leave a book that is as much as you can hope that will affect people, and you make it as durable as possible. You print it in vellum, which is like sheepskin, and then yeah, maybe even like a bit of you goes into it. Have you ever seen the Red Violin? That movie, The Red Violin's all about
No,
that,
but
man.
I get your idea. Yeah, why not?
You know why that violin's red, bro? I'll tell you why that violin's red, bro.
Oh my God, no.
You want to watch that movie, probably. But I don't know. I mean, like printing in skin's not that weird again because if it was a sheepskin, everybody's fine with it, right? Vellum, vellum is the animal skin membrane used in writing material. Look at this stuff. If you are cool, you want to print in vellum, right? This is some people like canvas, which is made out of cannabis, and that's great. I say vellum. I say vellum is the way to go. I mean, if you have sheepskin membrane, use it. So I think this is probably like if you're all writing on the pages, you're gonna use vellum, right? And isn't that interesting? Also, the Constitution's not on vellum because it totally should have been. That would have made it last a lot longer and be like better material. I got questions about that. I don't know. Ah, book.
So on that theme, there was one other link I sent you called Blood Business. I just showing it because it's one of those, I guess, mainstream documentaries, but pretty interesting because they basically explain to you how much money they can make with
Food
you.
coloring and camera stock footage. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't know how much money they made in the documentary, but they mainly talk about the plasma. And just because, I mean, I
1.1
guess
million.
in a chat most people are aware of it, but here they just show, how much of that is being used in manufacturing of drugs. And I think it's this documentary because this is actually reposted. It's originally from this German or French channel. And I think you have a Swiss lady there, and apparently she's dependent on a drug which is derived from human blood plasma. Yeah, and then of course my question would be is why would you
Nice.
have to need such a drug even, of course no one is interested, and then just how big of a business that is, yeah, and how little of the blood actually is being used in the hospital to save someone, whereas even here I had heard that if you have the right composition, even something very simple, you could actually substitute the blood you need in the hospital in many cases, if that is correct. But even with the official figures, they only use, I think in this documentary, they say about 20% for actual blood transfusions. And the rest, well, they can do all kinds of fancy things. And I believe either in this yeah, this is the lady, and yeah, and here they also show the other side of it, which is the individuals, because it mainly comes from the US actually, in poor neighborhoods in the US, who are donating, and yeah, then their blood plasma or whatever gets refined to serve for whatever reason, I don't know, obese or having other kind of issue, blood pressure issue, women in Switzerland, yeah, who's at least probably has a better health insurance than those Americans, I guess that's safe to say. Yeah, so just again, so yeah,
Importing blood.
strange.
Oh, also Stephen Kellen says maybe excess skin removed post extreme weight loss could be used. That would also make
Nice,
sense.
yeah.
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 So that's the most American. That's a generally American answer. Um, but yeah, with the blood business, I think this is interesting because you remember the story with which rock star is it from the Rolling Stones? Blood transfusions. What's his name? Keith Richards, right? Keith Richards had that story where he said that he was getting blood transfusions in Switzerland and then later recanted, said, oh, we were just joking about that. But it's like, well, clearly people do that a lot. And so, you know, get the idea that he probably did get some plasma. And at this point, it'd be
But
crazy
the thing
not
is,
to.
just even with regular drug production, I just want to say, I mean,
Looks better now than ever.
How strange of a system is it that you have, in this case, these poor Americans who maybe can't even properly afford health insurance or whatever they would need, or food or whatever, and then they feel forced to go there to donate blood, every week or 2 times a week
Yeah.
to get a few dollars. And not just that, because they could probably, if they donate that much and really want to do, if they would be paid properly for what profit the drug gives, they could probably even have a decent lifestyle and then maybe get a real job and stop doing that. But of course, they only get paid so little that it's a vicious cycle. And I mean, that's like a type of vampirism. Yeah. And and this is the surface level thing that anyone can watch in a documentary. I'm not talking about anything, spookier now.
Yeah,
So
well, the Blood Boy thing is interesting because like you have to wonder like how much money really is there in the Blood Boy thing? Because like they've asked the question like, of course people are doing it, but is there enough money to be made in it? And the company keeps getting beaten down, man. And they changed their name. What are they called now? Reopens blood transfusion, back in business. Do they have a new name yet? I think they had to change their name.
they call it ambrosia.
Yeah.
Great. Food of the gods. I mean, what kind of god do you have to be if you need to consume stuff like that?